Have you ever met someone so poor, yet so full of grace, that life's harshness only made her shine brighter? That's Steph. Her full name is Stephanie, but everyone in Amaik village calls her Steph, the 24-year-old girl with tired eyes and a gentle smile, who lives at the very edge of the town in a crumbling, one-room house with a leaking roof and an unpainted wooden door that creaks like it's weeping. Her world is small, her burdens are heavy, and yet, she carries them with quiet strength. Steph lives with her mother, Mama Uju, a once strong woman now withering away from illness. On some nights, Mama Uju coughs so hard it sounds like her lungs are begging to be set free. There's no money for proper treatment, no husband around, no siblings, just Steph and Faith. She works as a cleaner in a small local restaurant, wiping greasy tables and scrubbing soot-covered pots from dawn till nightfall. The pay? Barely enough for 2 meals a day. The owner often shouts, customers barely notice her, but Steph bows her head and endures. Every naira she earns, she counts with hope, some for rent, some for mama's drugs, and the rest for a dream she doesn't speak of. Yet in all this, she gives her time, her smile, her energy, even when her own stomach groans with hunger. Neighbors know her as the girl who helps without being asked, who listens without judging, who forgives without question. Each night, before she curls on her worn-out mat beside her mother, Steph prays in whispers, God, I don't need much. Just one chance, one small miracle. She didn't know that miracle was already walking toward her, in disguise. The rain poured like the heavens had opened in grief. Thunder rumbled above Amaik, and Steph pulled her faded scarf tighter around her head, shielding herself from the cold wind that cut through her thin blouse. Her slippers slapped against the muddy roadside as she made her way home from the restaurant, soaked to the skin, exhausted, and clutching a small plastic bag with a few leftover scraps, all she could manage for dinner that night. As she turned the corner by Nquo Junction, something made her pause. Amid the rain and rushing pedestrians, she spotted a figure, an old woman, hunched over, shivering beneath the overgrown mango tree by the gutter. Her wrapper was torn and drenched, clinging to her frail body. Her silver hair was matted with rainwater, and she looked completely lost. People walked past like she didn't exist. Some stared and hissed, others crossed to the other side. But Steph stood frozen, heart pounding. Something about the woman's eyes, wide, confused, almost childlike, reached deep into her. Without thinking twice, Steph dropped her bag and rushed over. Mama, are you okay? She asked, bending down beside the stranger. The woman blinked slowly, her lips trembling, her voice barely a whisper. I don't know where I am. Steph's heart broke. She didn't have much, not even enough for herself, but she knew what it felt like to be helpless, invisible. She reached into her bag and pulled out a small sachet of dry gari she'd been saving, her emergency meal for the night. She handed it to the woman, then flagged down a passing wheelbarrow pusher. Please help me carry her, she begged, and together they placed the woman inside and pushed her through the muddy road, rain soaking them both. At home, Mama Uju opened the door, shocked. Steph, who is this? Steph shivered and whispered, I don't know, but she needs us. And with that, the old woman was taken into the only home where there was nothing but love to give. The rain had stopped, but the cold lingered. Inside the tiny, dimly lit room, Steph knelt beside the stranger, a bowl of warm water by her side. She gently unwrapped the woman's soaked wrapper, revealing shriveled feet covered in cuts and caked mud. Steph didn't flinch. She dipped the rag into the bowl and began to clean her, one gentle stroke at a time, like she was washing royalty. The woman flinched at first, then relaxed, her lips parting slightly as if to speak, but no words came. Mama Uju watched silently from her mat, her eyes filled with a mixture of confusion and awe. Steph rummaged through the metal trunk under the bed and pulled out an old wrapper and a faded t-shirt. It's not much, Mama, but it's dry, she said softly, helping the woman change. They didn't have much food, just a small portion of white rice with palm oil and a pinch of salt. But Steph divided it carefully, placing a steaming spoonful in front of the woman. Eat slowly, Mama. You're safe now. The old woman stared at her for a long while before finally asking in a shaky voice, Why did you help me? You don't even know me. Steph sat beside her, her voice low but sure. Because if it were my mother lying out there in the cold, I'd pray someone would help her too. The woman blinked, her eyes glistening. She opened her mouth again, paused, then frowned. My name, I can't seem to remember it. Steph smiled gently. It's okay. Until you do, I'll call you Mama Grace, because Grace brought you here." Mama Grace looked at her like she was seeing an angel. In that moment, something shifted, quiet, invisible, powerful. Morning light filtered through the torn curtain, casting a soft glow over the tiny room. Steph stirred on the mat, her back aching from the hard floor. She looked over to find Mama Grace already awake, sitting quietly by the doorway, her eyes distant, thoughtful, yet calm. "I have to go," the old woman said suddenly, her voice steadier than the night before. Steph blinked, confused. "Go where, Mama Grace? It's still early. You can rest some more." But Mama Grace stood, wrapping the same old tattered wrapper around her. "I've stayed long enough. My spirit says it's time." Steph hesitated, searching the woman's face for a clue. There was none, just a quiet smile. The old woman pulled her into a tight embrace, one that lasted longer than necessary, warm, trembling, emotional. Then she whispered into Steph's ear, "One day, you will dine with kings and queens, and not know how it happened." Steph chuckled nervously, pulling back. "Mama Grace, I beg don't talk like those church prophets," she joked. "Let me at least find you a proper breakfast first." But the woman only smiled wider, her eyes glinting with something unreadable. After she left, Steph turned to Mama Uju, confused. "Did you hear what she said?" Mama Uju nodded slowly, folding her arms. "My daughter, never ignore the words of an elder. You may have just entertained an angel without knowing." Steph tried to laugh again, but this time, the chill wouldn't leave her spine. Life returned to its hard, bitter rhythm. The days blurred into each other, sweeping floors at the restaurant, washing plates until her fingers wrinkled, rushing home to care for Mama Uju. Steph barely had time to think about Mama Grace, except during quiet nights when the wind blew through the cracked walls and something in her heart whispered, "Where did she go?" Then, about 3 weeks later, a strange buzz swept through Amaik. It started at the marketplace. Women at the pepper stand were whispering, Okada men were pointing at a flyer taped to an electric pole. Steph leaned in to read it, a printed poster with a bold headline, "1 million naira reward, looking for the girl who helped my mother." Beneath it was a picture of an older woman, clean and regal looking, though blurred from enlargement. At the bottom, it was signed, Nathaniel Obiora, Billionaire Tech CEO. His company, Obiora Technologies, had just opened a new innovation hub in Owerri. Rumor had it he was worth billions, and his face had been on TV recently for launching a digital training program for Nigerian youths. The town went into a frenzy. Hairdressers suddenly remembered seeing an old woman. Restaurant owners claimed to have given her water. Girls began making up tales of kindness, just to fit the story. But Steph? She stared at the flyer in silence. "You're not going?" a neighbor asked her. Steph scoffed. "Me? Please. This one sounds like 419. Who dashes poor girl million naira just like that?" Still, that picture on the flyer, something about those eyes. She folded her apron tighter and walked off. But deep in her chest, something had begun to beat differently. No one knew he was coming. No security sirens. No flashy cars. Just a simple SUV parked quietly at the junction by Nkwo, and from it stepped Nathaniel Obiora, tall, composed, and dressed in a plain shirt and jeans. His eyes scanned the dusty road with urgency, his jaw tight. Wordlessly, he walked to the very spot where his mother had once sat, confused and forgotten in the rain. Someone said a girl helped her, a cleaner, he murmured to the vulcanizer nearby. They pointed him in one direction, then another. Finally, a woman selling oranges pointed toward the last house on the left. "That's where Steph lives." Steph was scrubbing the veranda when she heard the knock. She opened the door and froze. There she was, Mama Grace, but no longer the frail, soaked woman in torn wrapper. She now wore an emerald green lace, gelly tied high, gold rings glinting on her fingers. And beside her stood a man with eyes full of gratitude. "Mama Grace?" Steph whispered, trembling. The woman smiled, tears already falling. "I remember everything now, my daughter." Before Steph could say another word, Nathaniel dropped to his knees, shocking her. "Thank you. Thank you for saving my mother's life when everyone else ignored her." Steph's lips parted but no words came. Nathaniel continued, voice shaking, "She had wandered off during a mild stroke. We searched for days. We thought she was gone forever. But you gave her shelter, food, love, when you had nothing." Steph looked at Mama Grace, at Nathaniel, then at her trembling hands. The woman she once washed and fed with dry gari, was the mother of a billionaire. Her knees gave way, and she dropped slowly to the floor, whispering, "God, what is happening? The sun had barely risen when a black SUV returned to Amaik, this time with a quiet purpose. Steph and Mama Oju, still stunned from the day before, were packing their few belongings into a small bag when Nathaniel stepped into their compound again, only this time, he wasn't alone. His mother, Mama Grace, now vibrant and elegant, stepped out of the car like a queen visiting her palace. "Steph," Nathaniel said gently, "my mother wants you close. And I do too. Please, come with me. Let me show you the life you deserve." Steph looked at Mama Oju, unsure, then at the car. "You want us to go to Lagos?" she asked, barely believing her own voice. "Yes," Nathaniel replied with a soft smile. "There's space in my home, and in my heart for both of you." Mama Oju clutched her wrapper tightly, tears welling in her eyes. She tried to speak, but her voice cracked under the weight of disbelief. Later that evening, inside a stunning Lagos mansion with chandeliers and polished marble floors, Nathaniel handed Steph an envelope. Inside it, a blank check. "Start a business. Go back to school. Travel. Choose whatever future you want," he said. Steph stared at the check, hands trembling. She couldn't hold it together. The tears came, ugly, unstoppable sobs of gratitude, disbelief, and healing all at once. "I don't deserve this," she whispered. Nathaniel smiled. "You earned it the day you gave without expecting anything in return." Mama Oju sat quietly in a plush chair, wiping silent tears. Mama Grace leaned in beside Steph, her voice soft and filled with quiet power. "I told you, you would dine with kings and queens. Now you see, grace never forgets its own." The cameras flashed. The studio lights glowed softly around her. Steph, now in a smart Ankara dress with her hair braided neatly, sat poised beside the TV anchor, her smile gentle, her voice calm. The screen behind her read, "From cleaner to CEO, the power of kindness." It had been 6 months since her life changed. With Nathaniel's support, Steph launched Oju's Harvests, a thriving food export business focused on dried plantain, yam flour, and palm oil. Her name was everywhere, billboards, online articles, even a feature on national news. But despite the fame, she remained grounded. Her first major office was built right in Amaik, where everything began. And just outside it, she installed a public food shelf, open to anyone in need. "Because hunger doesn't ask for your background," she once said. Mama Oju now smiled more than she coughed. She received the best medical care and had gained healthy weight. Whenever asked what changed their lives, Mama Oju would say, "A wheelbarrow and dry gari." The same city that once walked past Steph now celebrated her. People who once ignored her now greeted her with reverence. But Steph never forgot where she came from, or who she helped. She looked into the camera and said, "I didn't give because I had plenty. I gave because I knew what it felt like to have nothing." One act of kindness, just one, can rewrite your whole story. So, to you watching this now, what did you learn from Steph's story? Would you have stopped to help Mama Grace that rainy day? Speech balloons, share your thoughts in the comments. Let's talk about it. Loudspeaker, and don't forget to like, share this story with someone you care about, and subscribe to my YouTube channel so you never miss another inspiring story like this. Because tomorrow, your own miracle might be walking toward you, in disguise.